Hey everybody, it is Coach Mary Beth, and I am coming to you this week with just a quick little video to talk a little bit about GLP-1 receptors and what those are. This is a little bit of a buzzword recently, and I'm sure that you guys have heard of this class of drugs before. So we're going to go through what it is. We're going to go through, can your body make them? Are these natural? You'll see when I say the names, y'all are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So without any further ado, let me grab my notes and I'm going to get started on our talk for this month. So this GLP-1 class of medications has been used to treat type 2 diabetes and some type 1 diabetics for about 20 years now, which might seem like a long time, but in the medical world is actually a very short time. These GLP-1 receptor agonists are things like Ozempic or Trulicity, or let me look down and see my notes, Victoza and Byetta. And I'm sure these are names that you guys have all heard floating around the last 18 months or so. It has been a thing that has taken the media by storm. And you probably know people on them. You may be on them yourself. So GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide, and this is a hormone that is released naturally by your intestines after you eat. So that is correct. Your own body makes GLP-1 just naturally. It's a naturally occurring hormone that is in your body. And GLP-1 helps control blood sugar levels in a few key ways. First, it stimulates the release of insulin from your pancreas when blood sugar levels are high after you have eaten a meal. This helps drive the blood sugar into your cells to be used for energy. Second, it suppresses the release of glucagon from your pancreas. So glucagon is kind of the foil, the opposite to insulin. And glucagon is a hormone that tells your liver to release stored sugar. So suppressing glucagon helps prevent your blood sugar from rising too high after you eat. And then finally, GLP-1 also slows down how quickly food leaves your stomach and enters into your intestines to start being, all of that is part of the food digestion process. So this helps to prevent blood sugar spikes by controlling the rate at which sugars enter your bloodstream. Now, in people with type 2 diabetes, the body's ability to produce and release GLP-1 can be impaired, and this is what contributes to elevated blood sugar levels. So another common name for this is insulin resistance. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know this is my baby. I teach and really feel passionate about helping people with insulin resistance, and so that is one reason why I care so deeply about these GLP-1 agonists that are in injectable form that are floating around. So these GLP-1 agonists are injectable medications that act like your body's natural GLP-1. They bind and activate they bind to and activate GLP-1 receptors, and all of this whole thing mimics the beneficial effects of the native GLP-1 that our bodies make naturally. So by acting like a natural GLP-1, the GLP-1 receptor agonists can help to lower and stabilize your blood sugar levels in several ways. So they stimulate insulin release from the pancreas. They suppress excess glucagon secretion, which, remember, glucagon is the thing that your liver dumps and it makes your blood sugar go up. And then they slow digestion to prevent blood sugar spikes. In addition to lowering your blood sugars, GLP-1 agonists can aid with weight loss by increasing feelings of fullness and satisfaction after eating. And this allegedly promotes portion control and reduces calorie intake. So some examples of GLP-1 agonists are Byetta, Victoza, Ozempic, and Trulicity. These are very powerful medications. They have to be injected, and there are some pretty big side effects that can come on when you start taking them, such as nausea and vomiting and diarrhea. And I know some people don't have side effects, but many do. And that I don't love side effects, and I don't love drugs. And so, I mean, I live on drugs. I am alive. I tell people this all the time. I'm alive because of insulin. Insulin is a drug. It's also a hormone. And I'm grateful for insulin. I would not be here otherwise. But this new medication and this new form of using it, I think, has some real potential downsides and risks that are things that need to be considered. So it's, as we mentioned earlier, there's nausea and vomiting and diarrhea. You should be prepared for these, and they may get better over time, but they may get worse. The cost of these injectables are very expensive without insurance coverage. They can range from $500 to $1,000 or more per month for the supply, and the cost may be prohibitive for some patients. Some people's insurance will not cover this. Some people's insurance covers a portion, but it's still quite a large out-of-pocket expense. The long-term safety data is lacking. So while it is generally considered safe, some animal studies have raised concerns about potential links to thyroid and pancreatic cancer. Large human studies have not confirmed the risk to date, mostly because it's not been long enough to know. So I, for one, don't want to be a test subject for that. I already have thyroid issues. I've got an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So this doesn't feel like something I would personally feel comfortable playing around with. So if you are somebody who already has a thyroid problem, obviously, if we're having blood sugar issues, we have somewhat of a pancreatic problem. So yeah, I am uncomfortable personally. Just being a test monkey for that. And then, sorry, I lost my spot in my notes. Most importantly, I think these drugs are not curative. They are not fixing something in your body. They are like a Band-Aid going over a cut. That's not what heals the cut. So it's taking care of a symptom, but it's not fixing the root cause of the problem, I think is how I'd like to say that. So they manage your symptoms, but they don't address the root cause. You may still experience a progression of diabetes over time. There is a chance that by taking these medications, you will maybe permanently impair your GLP-1, the parts of your body that create GLP-1. You may impair those parts. And so if you ever have to come off of the medication, then it may be that you cannot produce that anymore in your own body. And again, I think that's a large risk to take when there are some very easy things that you can do at your house, which we're going to get into in just a second. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that over time between your doses, you may find that the medicine loses its efficacy, which means it just doesn't work as efficiently. So if that is the case, then you may need to up your dosage, or you may have to take it more frequently than recommended. And again, those are all variables that have not been tested yet by human trials. And so we just don't know what effect long-term that is having on your bodies. So while these GLP-1 agonists are effective medications, it's just really something to thoughtfully consider the pros and the cons with your doctor before deciding if this treatment is right for you. Now, the good news, though, is that there are some things that you can do naturally at your house starting today to give just kind of an opposite viewpoint. So that is the main reason that I wanted to make this video, is to ask this question. What if you could boost your natural GLP-1 levels at your house without injections? I've got some evidence-based ways for you to do that. So number one is eat more protein. Studies show that high protein meals stimulate GLP-1 release naturally. Choose healthy fats. Monosaturated fats found in foods like olive oil and avocados and nuts may boost GLP-1 in the gut. Next, number three is to increase your fiber intake. Again, for those who have been around for any amount of time, y'all know I love me some vegetables. And that is one of the things that we talk a lot about in seedlings is the importance of vegetables and the importance of fiber. And why is that? It's because it helps with your GLP-1 production in your body. So soluble fiber feeds the good gut bacteria that make GLP-1. So foods like beans, fruits, and vegetables are all high in fiber. That in turn feeds the good gut bacteria, which feed your GLP-1 or which make GLP-1. That doesn't feed it, it makes it. And then y'all, coffee drinkers are going to love me for this. Compounds in coffee like chlorogenic acid aid in GLP-1 release. Number four, adding apple cider vinegar to drinks or salads. The acetic acid in vinegar has been shown to stimulate GLP-1 secretion. And then next, so that'd be number five, exercise regularly. All types of exercise, including cardio and strength training, can increase GLP-1 levels. Next, number six is to get adequate sleep. Disrupted sleep decreases GLP-1, so aiming for 7 to 9 hours per night is key. And then lastly is managing stress. So chronic stress inhibits GLP-1 release. So if you are in a particularly stressful period of time, we have had 2 little sweet foster kiddos with us for the last almost 9 months. It has been the most stressful time period in my life, and things are much better now, but man, it's been a rough time these last 9 months. And or well, that's not true. Like the last 6 months have been rough. Just helping them to settle in here and getting them used to being in this family rather than in their family of origin family. So it's been a lot. And things like stretching or walking or deep breathing have really helped to reduce my stress and to manage that better, which has made a difference in my being able to control my blood sugars more tightly. So making lifestyle changes like these can go a really, really, really long way towards optimizing your natural God-given GLP-1 concentrations in your body, and that in turn will improve your blood sugar. We address all of these things in my Seedlings Diabetic course, and I have seen so many women be able to reduce their medications that they're on, or some have been able to come completely off meds by applying what they have learned in the signature course that I have put together. So you are going to have the distinct pleasure of hearing from one of those women later this month. So be on the lookout for that. She's amazing. And I can't wait for y'all to hear her story. So here are a few things, 3 things, in fact, that you can start doing today. So you watch this, and then you can start doing these things today to increase the GLP-1 levels that you have in your body. These things require no injections or medication, and you likely already have all of them in your house right now. So action step number 1, drink a cup of coffee after your food at breakfast. So don't drink your coffee first, eat your food first, and then drink your coffee. But the lost my spot, sorry. The chlorogenic acid in coffee has been shown to stimulate GLP-1 release. I said that earlier. Having coffee with a meal can naturally boost your GLP-1 levels. That's what we want. We want this released when we eat rather than giving it all at once with an injection. We want it to naturally release as we are eating. So having coffee with a meal will help to do that. Action step number 2 is to, say it with me, eat your vegetables, increase your fiber intake today. Try adding an extra serving of vegetables, or have beans or lentils with as one of your meals. Berries work, fruit works, all great sources of fiber. And the fiber will feed the good bacteria in your gut, which will then lead to an increase of GLP-1 production also in your gut. And then step 3 is to go for a 30-minute walk after dinner. Exercise has been proven to increase GLP-1 concentrations. So get moving after you eat to get the benefits for blood sugar control. So not only does it stimulate your GLP-1 production, but it also helps your muscles to open up to, which is part of the role that GLP-1 plays in your body. It gets your muscles to open up to get those carbs to go into your muscles to be used immediately instead of them being stored as fat. All of which are good things. So I just want to say in closing that slow and steady wins the race, friends. When you do things the slow and steady way, the changes that you make will stick, and you will see changes in all areas of your life, not just in how your clothes fit, but in the amount of energy you have, in the type of sleep you get. You will have better restful sleep. You will be able to do the things that you are wanting to do because your body is working as it should. And all the waiting and all the hard work will be worth it. I can promise you that. Okay, I love you guys. I am happy to be here walking alongside of you. And I, just want to wish you a really good rest of your week, and be looking out for the story of Molly coming next week. All right.